This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Today we are shooting with Nikon's new Z6 III. It's the newest addition to their full-frame mirrorless lineup, and it is a hybrid camera. So I've seen a lot of reviews about this camera, a lot of people talking about the specs, a lot of people talking about photo and video, but not enough about its portrait capabilities for photography. So that's what I want to test out today and show you guys a few of the coolest features that I think people are missing out on.
Nikon is officially in its comeback era. They came to play with this one. And if you remember the video I did a few months ago, this is the camera used officially by NASA. I mean, if you're sending a camera into space, their engineers gotta be good, right? I've actually made a little video about their history together, which I think is totally worth checking out if this interests you. It'll be linked in the cards. With a 24 megapixel sensor, new processor, enhanced autofocus, and the ability to shoot 6K RAW internally, all for just $24.99 USD, it absolutely stacks up to other cameras in its tier. While others may need to cut some corners to save costs, the Z6 stands on business. Nikon has made major improvements to their new mirrorless cameras over recent years with the Z8 and the Z9, and in 2024 they have made massive strides to catch up with current tech that may even surprise you. For one thing, like I mentioned, this camera shoots 6K internal compressed RAW video. But how is that? Because that tech is patented by Red. Well, as of April 8th, Nikon has acquired 100% of Red. Yes, the digital cinema camera Red company. Now, what does that mean? Well, it gives Nikon access to create technology themselves using some of that Red tech like the Z6 III, which can shoot NRAW and ultimately boost their position in the market. And before I get into my top specs for photography and portraits, let's just go over the high-level specs, including video. You enjoying this video? Cool. Couple things I'm gonna ask you to do then. 1, maybe subscribe to my channel. 2, listen to me talk about Squarespace for a minute. Thanks. I used Squarespace to make my website. I legitimately did, even before they paid me to do this ad. The template I chose was clean and stylish, and I literally built it myself. I really struggle with design, but Squarespace made it super easy for me to showcase my portfolio beautifully. The platform is super easy for me to customize, update regularly, and I can get analytics about the purchases made on my digital products through my online store. And I run my own business, so I don't have time to learn a whole new platform. All right, so head over to Squarespace for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can use this code right here to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks, Squarespace. Now back to the video. If you're familiar with the Z6 II, Z7 II, or even the Z8, the Z6 III will feel right at home in your hands. It's got a nice deep grip, intuitive controls, and a lightweight yet rugged design. At 725 grams, it's easy to carry around all day, but still built to withstand the elements with full weather sealing. Nikon's kept the dual functions button on the grip, and the 8-stop IBIS unit from the ZF is back, stabilizing based on your focus point, which is a unique and welcome feature. It's time to talk about one of the Z6 III's most exciting features, a brand new, partially stacked sensor. It's the first of its kind in a Nikon camera, offering a balance between slower sensors like the one in the ZF and the super fast sensors you can get in the Z8 and Z9. This gives us a lot of versatility with a mechanical shutter that's still in play, but also a pretty usable electronic shutter. With the Nikon Z6 III's partially stacked sensor, you can shoot flashes at 1/160th of a second in electronic mode or 1/200th in mechanical mode. It also reduces issues like rolling shutter and flicker. For speed, you can shoot at 14 frames per second with the mechanical shutter or 20 frames per second with the electronic shutter. And if you want even faster, you can hit 30 or 60 frames per second in JPEG only mode without cropping. Need 120 frames per second? That's available in DX mode. This sensor offers a great mix of speed and affordability, making it accessible to even more photographers. Now for videographers, the Z6 III offers, in my opinion, some amazing features. We've got internal RAW recording, a fully articulating screen, and a high-res EVF, making this a serious contender for hybrid shooters. It records 6K video at 60 frames per second in NRAW, no crop, and internal recording, thanks to the Red acquisition. However, RAW recordings do take up storage very quickly, so a high-capacity CF Express card is essential. The camera also supports 4K at 120 frames per second with a 1.5 times crop and 240 frames per second at 1080p. It's a great balance between resolution and speed.
Now here's why I love it for photography and portraits. There are now recipes that give you the ability to make film emulations and presets in camera. You can automatically synchronize saved recipes to your registered camera and save published recipes to give your photos the look you have always wanted. Now this is actually an incredibly easy process if you compare it with how it works to load the Fuji recipes. You have to go into the camera and one by one adjust each setting. Whereas now you can pick recipes that already exist from some of your favorite photographers, or you can create your own and then sync them automatically to your camera. There's also portrait impression balance that allows you to set 3 different modes to adjust skin tones according to your liking. So I've set each mode to something different. So the first one is more yellow, the second is more magenta, and the third is brighter. But you can adjust this to whatever you would like. There's also a skin softening feature. Here's what it looks like on, in low, medium, and high. And here's what it looks like off. It's not something that I typically use, but it is nice to have the option. The autofocus system, borrowing from the Z8 and Z9, is fantastic for tracking moving subjects, making it ideal for sports, wildlife, and more using different modes like 3D tracking, subject detection, and zone modes. It had no problems tracking our model moving around the scene. So to sum it up, when we're looking to buy a new camera, we want to weigh out the pros and cons of each. But with the Z6 III, it's hard to find much to complain about, especially at this amazing price. It has features and improvements that you could expect the price would be almost double for what it's listed at, but the Z6 III is packed with features from higher end models, excellent image quality, and strong video capabilities, and a great overall experience, making it a major step forward for Nikon. I'm excited to see how this affects what's next in the camera market, and I'm very happy that Nikon is stepping up their game to show everyone they are still here to play. And who doesn't love a comeback story?
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and big thank you to Mel for coming out today. If you guys want to give her a follow, her Instagram is Melanie_Leishman, and she's an amazingly talented actor. If you guys are in the market for a new hybrid camera, I would seriously consider looking at the Z6 III. It is incredible. I've really enjoyed shooting with it today, and I'm so sorry, Nikon, that I ever doubted you. I mean, I never doubted you. If you like this video, please give it a like down below, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell to get notified for all future videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.